What's up, YouTubers? Kyle here with another review for you today. Don't have anything in my hand to hold up because it's already on the board and wired in. What we're checking out today is the Joyo PXL8 effect switching system that is programmable. It is amazing. They sent this over to me. I was doing another review, the previous review that I did for the Schmidt Array huge pedal board. And as I was designing that out, laying it out, it really came very present in my mind that I needed an effect switching system to keep me from tap dancing all over the board and being able to get to everything that I wanted to. Especially as I'm also the singer in my band and I'm kind of tied to the mic stand. I don't get to move around so much. I need things centralized even though I have a big board with a lot of effects. So this was a way to do that. And it was an amazing way. I love the switcher system and I want you guys to check it out. So here we go. I'm going to show it to you on the board. Let's do this.
All right, so today I wanted to show you guys the Joyo PXL8 effect switching unit. This is amazing. I obviously am endorsed by Dr. J, which is a subsidiary of Joyo, but I was looking for a switcher system for my larger pedal board, and Joyo had the perfect fit, so we kind of went with that and wanted to show it to you guys today. Not going to be a lot of tone in this video because it's more just how this thing routes is what I want to concentrate on, so you can see what it offers to you for a full setup. Now, I'm on a very large pedal board, as you can see. Lots of stuff set up in there. So, the PXL8 is an 8-channel switcher, so you have 8 full channels, 8 individualized loops with an in and out of this. This does run on 9-volt power, though it does pull 300 mAh, so make sure you're giving it enough juice. And it's pretty simple to edit. Right now I have it in a bypass mode, so I'm just going straight to my amp. But if I flip on that one, it's going to tell me that right now the only thing I have active is loop 1, which loop 1 happens to be my phaser over here. Now, if I wanted to, and the way I have this set up on this first bank here, is that this is just my clean amp, essentially, with some varied modulation. So phaser, delay, reverb, and that one is this Digitech synth here. If we go over to bank 2, the way I have this set up currently, and then I'm going to show you guys some edit functions. So on bank 2, what I'm in right now is one of my overdrive pedals. Technically this is not an overdrive, sorry, this is a distortion. This is this Gmf Distortion here. And then if I go through the rest of the banks, the way I have this set up on this bank, I'm running this distortion, and then each one of these is different modulation effect added to it. So there I have that distortion plus phaser, that distortion plus delay, and then that distortion plus the synth. Oh, I'm sorry, actually that distortion plus the step filter is what that one is. Yeah, so just to kind of show you guys some edit functions, I'm going to jump over to an unused bay here. Sorry, let me go to here. So this is bank 6, which I'm not really using actually, so we can go monkey around in here all we need to. Actually, let's go all the way up to bank 7. So when you do get the unit initially, and I haven't messed with bank 7 at all, which is why you see all those light up, when you first go to a patch on any of the banks, it's going to light up all your patches. This is very, very important because if you have your amp on, your guitar going through, it's going to turn on all your pedals simultaneously when you go into that patch, which can get rather loud. So just so you know, that is actually very cool because what you can do utilizing this type of setup is leave that on, and then now the rest of your pedals function more like an independent pedal board of the switcher. So if you're wanting to create some new sounds, you turn them all on, you can go cut off what you're not using at the moment, and then turn on what you do want to use, because every loop is on at the moment. So it does allow you kind of independent analog control of your individual pedals if you throw it into a mode where you have all loops on. Now, that said, we're going to go to edit mode by pressing the edit button here. You'll see an L. What that L stands for is the lower 4 loops. So right now I can turn off the lower 4 loops. I'm going to hit my bank, my bank down, and that'll put me into the upper 4 loops, and now I can turn them off. So now we're getting into deciding what I want this patch to be. So let's say that I wanted to get back to my lower loop, so I'm going to hit my bank down, my lower loops, and I wanted my overdrive, which is on patch 4. So that's going to be here. So that gives me patch 4. And then let's say from the upper bank on the high side, I want my reverb, which is in 7. So this is 8, this is 7. So that gives me 7. And now to store that, I simply come over here and hit store. And now I have that patch programmed on that one. I can bypass it by hitting the same switch that's already active, or I can go back into it. Keep in mind your bypass function is always available to you just by hitting the patch that you're already on. And now you're in bypass mode, which is signified by the blinking. This thing is rather awesome. Easy to program, pretty intuitive, and really makes a lot of my work very, very simple, because coming down here in these banks, when I want to go from an overdrive to an overdrive with a phaser to an overdrive with a delay to an overdrive with a step filter, I can do all of that with simply one push rather than having to turn something off and something back on. It allows me access to all of my pedals very, very simply. So very cool. Extremely useful tool from the good folks over at Joyo. I can't thank them enough, because that's going to make this pedal board pretty easy to tame, because everything's sitting right there. I love it. Can't express to you how much I like this looper. If I had to say one thing that I would recommend, is that getting your workflow with the switching system down so that you understand you're not just putting random patches everywhere. So on bank 1 you have, this overdrive with this, with this, with this, and then bank, on the B patch for that bank you have a completely different drive, blah. It gets very hard to keep track of what you put where. So you have to figure out a system that's going to work for you. For me, the way I did it was on the bank 1, I'm on my amp. There's no drives in there. It's only modulation, and it's the same. Phaser, delay, reverb, and what do I have in that one? Sorry, my synth. So phaser, reverb, delay, synth. And then drive by itself, drive with phase, drive with delay, drive with step filter. Again, different drive with phase, drive with delay, drive with step filter. So anything more specific, this actually gets to my fuzz pedal. So this is my fuzz with delay, my fuzz with a lot of reverb and delay, and then my fuzz with phase and an overdrive stacked on top of it to get really thick. So it kind of gives me working units for each type of drive per bank, because I'm rarely going to change drives in the middle of a song. I'm going to stay on the same drive and just modulate it from there. So it's just a matter of being in the right bank for that song to use the right drive. And then everything else is kind of available to me and pretty intuitive. So getting your workflow down is pretty key. But besides that, this thing is awesome. It's amazing. I did make it a little simpler on me so I can remember what I patched into which loop, and I labeled my pedals so they all have numbers on them. That's just for me to remember. The other option is you could take a label maker and put a label underneath each of these lights so that you have something that tells you what you have in each. I'm actually probably going to do that because I think it'll look a little bit better. But aside from that, yeah, Joyo PXL8. Pretty freaking awesome. And purple. Check it out. Go give the folks at Joyo a like.